Alright guys, so I'm gonna go over basically something new I've been, again, if you watched the last video, I was talking about the mistakes that I did wrong, and basically I've just disconnected myself from every single time frame. You can see that there. So basically I plan on still using the model if I see it presented. So like the the 2024 strategy that I have, I still plan on using it, but as of right now I've been using majority of the other time frames also. Like every single time frame I've just been trying to combine it from a higher time frame perspective as I work my bias from like the monthly, the weekly, the 1 day, 12 hour, 3H. It doesn't matter what time frame I'm going on, every single time frame, and I'm scaling down. It could be the 3 day, 12H, 8 hour, 6 hour, 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 45 minute. And the things we've been using is just market maker models, CRT, and that's basically really it. We've been using the internal arrays, fair value gaps, order blocks, and combining that with the CRT. This is one scenario here in BTC right here. So if we go to BTC, you can see that there right here. So we had a CRT on the daily, and then eventually on the 8 hour, we wanted this retracement to the order block right here. On the 1 day chart, like I was showing, we had CRT. So CRT on the 1 day chart, let's mark it out black right here. And we had CRT, so we swept the low. We're moving up higher. The 50% is ideal for some scenarios here, but when the order flow is bullish in this case scenario, that's in some scenarios it does happen, but you gotta have more of a higher time frame PD array backing you up. Here in this scenario, we didn't really have much other than like the 3 day fair value gap, which was right around here. And you can see it just did hold and push us up higher on the daily. The daily CRT was the main confluence. 8 hour, we had the 8 hour order block formed. We retraced back up into it. We didn't have to reach into the the fair value gap there, since we were still inside of more inside of the premium. We were reaching back down all the way to the discount. I think that wouldn't be ideally bullish, but we had the order block respected here. The 4 hour, we did retrace. You can see that there, opened up, retraced lower, and then went up higher. How can you be able to catch that scenario? The 3 hour form, 3 hour CRT here, and then eventually here you can see it swept again, and then the third candle opened up. So even this right here would have been ideal. We opened up, then we moved up higher at 2. You can drop down to like the 15, or you can go to like the 1 hour here. On the 1 hour, you had a 1 hour SIBI and got inverse, moved up higher here. 15-minute time frame, there's no entry really on the 15 other than this fair value gap. And even then, as soon as the third candle forms on the CRT, respecting the order block, pushing up higher, sweeping, I think once you form this as an inversion, you respect the BISI. That's where the trade idea is to take the longs. And if it does not hold and you push lower, that's even better, because then you get a better entry, and then you just hold the trade, target the highs. First objective, probably this right here, moving stops, break even, targeting up here, and then if you want to hold for the daily CRT, you can see that there was eventually met. Pretty ideal, if I'm being honest. Those trade ideas are ideal. You catching this right here all the way up here, that's ideal. It's not a scenario where it isn't ideal. Just the market is fractal, price is fractal, and that's one thing I've been trying to establish in my new V3 form. You can see it here, V3. You don't need two charts, you don't need SMTs, all this, that. What I'm saying? Like, you can use those as confluences. I still use them as confluences. I still watch them. You want to wait for your higher time frame confluences, breaking it down from the higher time frame all the way down to the lower time frame. It doesn't matter what time frames you're using either, because price is fractal. Once more, what you see on the 3 minute versus what you see on the hourly is all the same price action. The hourly candle is just going to be one candle. The 3 minute is going to show you what the hourly has formed in each 3 minute candle to build up to that 1 hour point. It's really just the same thing, honestly. I feel like I was just limiting myself when using those only specific time frames, and I feel like it just wasn't ideal in certain scenarios, because then we were entering too early, entering too late, missing entries, getting FOMO, entering in too deep of a premium. And like, if we simply just use other time frames to help us align the trade idea. All right, so we're gonna go to my Twitter here. You can see Twitter. One trade I did take was Brett, so we're gonna go over this one right now, and you can see we had a daily CRT form. I was bearish here because, again, we have a bearish CRT hitting a bearish fair value gap. We have a BISI one, or we have a BISI, down here. But right then and there, I don't really care. I want to see this low get swept. That's my main objective. And then eventually here we had a 1 hour one. So I use this one also as a target. And again, you can target this one down here, but just for me, or this one right here, too, this one and this one. But just for me personally, I just had to target this one. It was too late Sunday, and then on the 15 we had a 15-minute CRT form. I was using this one on the 30-minute, but again, the 15 did form it also here. So, and then we had also a BISI here, but you can see the 1 hour bearish inversion for value after was being retraced up into. So, and then eventually you can see that the trade idea here we entered, and then the market eventually started to move lower, retraced into this fair value up. I moved my stops right here as soon as we broke up, as soon as we retraced up into this and we moved lower and we formed this right here, this SIBI, and then this order block, this bearish order block, and we closed below again, and that's when I moved my stop. I trailed it right here, moving lower, chopping around, and then once we formed an inversion here and we swept this high right here, moved stops right here, and then the market eventually moved lower. Not a bad trade. Again, and we're still testing this out. Like, I'm not going against it. This is like a 1 day, 1 hour, 15, and then a 1-minute entry. You know, that isn't bad. Here on the 1-minute entry, we never really had anything to enter other than this change in the state of delivery as the entry, but I simply entered because of the 30-minute opening up, the third candle here. You know, we need to work on that trade a little bit. The RR wasn't the best either. So here we had the gold trade from last night. So gold 4-hour CRT, we're, you know, trading the advanced version. And then on the 30-minute, we had a 30-minute CRT form. On the 15, we had a 15-minute bullish BPR, and we had that 30-minute CRT. So, and then on the 3-minute market maker buy model standard deviations, we're entering around here somewhere. Again, the entries are not really, I'm not really too worried about the entries since I'm trading more of the higher time frame. That's another thing. I'm not really too worried about them right now, especially with this trade. Wasn't really worried about the entry and where I entered. Same thing with this one. I didn't really care where I entered. As long as I got in the move, that's all that matters to me. And eventually the market did transpire. So again, here the take profit was at this high. We entered around this candle, and then stop loss was at, you know, this right here, the low, somewhere around here at the low. And then you can see that the market eventually just moved up higher. This is on a 15-minute time frame. We entered again right around here. The market moved up, came back down, and then it moved up higher, took out our target there. And then same thing with BTC, same thing with Brett, same thing with this one, same thing with Turbo. Let's go over Turbo and why it didn't work out. I want to give you guys like a little brief scenario of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and like what I'm watching. Turbo here, again, we have a daily bullish inversion fair value up there. In this scenario, how I usually started off here is simply weekly time frame. Okay, what do we see on the weekly? Weekly CRT. Sweep the low. We have the high up here. We're reaching into the discount on the PDRA right there. And then off of the weekly, I usually go to the 3-day. 3-day, we don't have much. We only have this fair value gap, which is like a weekly fair value gap. 1-day inversion. We have external sell side. And then we have external buy side right here. We are not respecting the inversion fair value gap there. And let's go down now. Let's go down to the 12-hour. What do we see on the 12-hour? 12-hour CRT forming, but we are, you know, rejecting off of the 50%. Pushing lower, we have a 12H inversion fair value gap, which we are not respecting as for right now. And then we also have a 12H breaker, which could form to push us up higher, but we don't have it yet forming. We have 8-hour CRT, 8-hour inversion fair value gap there. 6-hour, nothing really on the 6-hour here that I would like to see other than this CRT. Boom, ending up going down lower. 4-hour, what do we see on the 4-hour? Back and forth. Back and forth. This candle swept both sides. Boom, boom. 3-hour inversion fair value up there. That just basically formed, pushing us lower, targeting this right here. All right, let's go to the 2-hour. 2-hour BISI. 3-hour looks better though. 1-hour time frame. We had a 1-hour BISI. Never held. Here in this scenario, all I would do is just use this right here as a means to what? Right there. Boom. Target. Even then, after we have something form here, I'm gonna want to see a CRT form after we sweep this low. Maybe form like an inversion fair value up there off of the weekly PDRA, and then eventually start to move higher. All right, so we have everything marked out. So if we go back up to the 12-hour CRT. We're looking to see, you know, if we close below here, the low, reach this low, move up higher. The 1-day inversion fair value up there isn't holding. And then eventually if we go to the 3-hour form, the bearish inversion fair value up there, which we slightly tapped up into to then move lower. And again, we're targeting this external resistance sell side liquidity low down there. And then if we go down to the 1-hour time frame, you can see that there, this market maker model looks like it wants to be completed. So it probably will. 30-minute time frame. 30-minute bearish order block, external resistance buy side, 15-minute time frame. Here in this scenario, you can't really have a trade idea in my opinion, because you're in between a higher time frame PDRA, you're chopping back and forth inside of a higher time frame PDRA, the daily and then the weekly, and then you have weekly CRT. In this scenario, honestly, the best bet was waiting for the market to form like another higher time frame CRT. This time, again, sweeping the low, but also manipulating and catching the move down here to then eventually catch the move up higher. That's all. That's all it is. And once it does form some PDRA that is respecting around the weekly PDRA, the market is going to move. It's going to move with speed. You're going to have to be able to catch the move and just simply be waiting for that to happen. In this scenario here, just wait for this sell side to be taken out, reach into the weekly PDRA, and to then eventually form something on the higher time frame to where you can drop down, scale it down, and continue to find a better entry and just continue to DC8. I'm going to continue to like really just demo trade, but I may buy a prop firm account and start trading one of these markets. You know, like I know some people were telling me to limit my markets, do this and that, but I really plan on listening to them, not really trading. Of course, I have these on my watch list, but I probably won't trade every single one of them, and I'll probably direct my attention to just like, you know, the ones I trade the most from my journal, probably like NQ. We're in FTM logs here. You can see off to the 12H. So we set a limit order here. We traced up into it now. You know, again, we're chopping. But again, here we are bullish. Go to a weekly time frame. Weekly CRT. We're manipulating right now. How's this weekly candle opening up? Moving out lower. Power 3. How's this forming? Moving up. Moving down lower. Manipulating. And then eventually we're going to move up higher. That's because we have this. If it holds, pushing up higher in my opinion. And probably going to form some form of just bullish price action along the way. So yeah, just waiting here. I'm holding this trade. Is like more of a swing trade, position trade, I guess you can say too. Targeting this high up here. That's basically really it. And I've been reviewing the trades. So the notion here, right around here, I've been reviewing the trades. I've been tape reading, you know, the new markets I've been trading, all this other stuff. I need to add, you know, the other one in here, BTC. But we lost this trade. We've been reviewing the trades. with the new system. We are not the new system, but like just the different approaching different time frames using the same system though. So like we've just been reviewing it from like other time frames, what we could have done better on the USD JPY trade, the gold trade. And I saw what I can do better. You know, I was reviewing it and I was like, all right, yeah, I know what I can do better here, and I'm gonna continue to just like tape read, demo trade, and then eventually once I feel comfortable, maybe like next month for November, after this week, I'll probably start actually, you know, going back, getting another account. I need to continue to just collect more data, tape read, and like forward testing, and then eventually once everything is done with that, eventually I'm gonna go and make a new account or buy a new account, try to pass that. And then probably go back to my personal capital and trade on crypto and trade that. So, you know, until then, I'm going to continue to tape read, demo trade. I'm going to be posting it on the Discord and the Twitter. So make sure you go follow that to, you know, get trade reviews, trade recaps, and like just bias intraday, you know, like Discord, I'm updating my bias on what I'm watching. And then for Twitter, I'm going over like trade recaps. So the Telegram, I do plan on doing that, commentaries, and that's basically really it. So yeah, peace.